For the third straight year, the Pittsburgh Steelers are facing some quarterback uncertainty entering this offseason. In 2024, that uncertainty led to Justin Fields and Russell Wilson coming to Pittsburgh. In 2025, it was a long, drawn-out process that took all the way until the month of June before it ended up being Aaron Rodgers that came to the city of Pittsburgh. Well, in 2026, that quarterback uncertainty could very well lead back to Aaron Rodgers once again. Many people, myself included, thought that option was gone and off the table the second Mike Tomlin decided that he wanted to step down as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, after all, Tomlin was one of, if not the main reason that Aaron Rodgers decided to play another season and come to Pittsburgh in the first place. And then enters Mike McCarthy. And you look at his introductory press conference on Tuesday. Very emotional. And while, yes, some can, and I have, on this very channel, disagreed with the decision to hire Mike McCarthy, but you can still be happy for the human. I mean, we are complex creatures. We can have more than one thought on the same subject. It can be a hire that is one deemed not the best, but you can also be happy for the man. You can be happy for Mike McCarthy because this is a lifelong dream, and I think we all saw that on Tuesday, that he's getting the opportunity to live out. But he was also asked about Aaron Rodgers in that press conference, and one of the few non-emotional points of that press conference, Tim Benz of Trib Live asked him the question, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers and the potential of him coming back next year? And Mike McCarthy responded like this, quote, definitely. I wouldn't know why I wouldn't in regards to bringing him back. I was able to sit back and watch most of the Pittsburgh games on TV. I thought he was a great asset for the team. And he's not wrong. For last year's team, for 2025, Aaron Rodgers was a great asset. Aaron Rodgers won them a lot of those games just point blank, just on his arm alone. The week one against the Jets, that was all Aaron Rodgers. I'm trying to think of what week it was, but against the Detroit Lions, running game was great, but Aaron Rodgers was really good as well. That first game against the Cleveland Browns, Aaron Rodgers diced up that Browns defense. Wasn't able to do it in the second matchup in Cleveland, but there were a couple of games last year where you saw Aaron Rodgers go back in the Wayback Machine and look like his MVP self. He was a great asset for the team, as Mike McCarthy stated. So looking forward to 2026, would Aaron Rodgers be a positive move or would it be a negative move? I think that depends on your outlook of 2026 as a whole. If you look at 2026 and say what you desire for the Steelers is for them to go for it, because that's what they've done every single year, at least every single year under Mike Tomlin. They've gone for it. They've tried to win football games. They've not sat there and said, hey, let's take a step back to take a step forward. They said, let's keep trying to just push forward and eventually break through. Probably, if you're trying to do that, Rodgers is a top 2 option. I would put Malik Willis at number 1. I would. He's a younger quarterback. He has way more runway in his career, and he's somebody that you could bring in with plans to build around for the future. He was pretty good in relief of Jordan Love this year. He stepped in against the Bears, went 9 of 11 for 121 yards and a touchdown, and then he started the game against the Baltimore Ravens, 18 of 21, 288 yards, and 1 touchdown. Impressive performances. The downside to both of those games is he lost both of them. But I will say this. Did the Steelers not take a quarterback who had potential, showed glimpses, but lost a lot of games in Justin Fields and have a pretty dang good start in 2024, going 4-2? They did. Could they do the same thing, if not more, with Malik Willis attached at the hip of Mike McCarthy, a offensive-minded head coach? that could be a possibility. So I put Malik Willis right now at number 1, and he can fit into both categories. Going for it, and then the second one we'll talk about. So I would say Malik Willis is number 1, but if you're trying to go for it, if you're trying to run it back, if you're trying to take this core of players and put them in a position to win playoff games, in 2026, I'd say Aaron Rodgers is probably number 2 on that list. The only problem with that being, and I said this at the end of the season, right after their loss to the Texans, that team, the team that you would assume would mostly be coming back, especially if Aaron Rodgers were to return, that team's ceiling was pretty clearly identified. And that was first round of the playoffs. Look at all the other teams that participated in the postseason this year. There might have been one that the Steelers, the way they played on Monday Night Football on Wild Card Weekend, there might have been one that they would have been able to beat. And I would say that'd be the LA Chargers. If that was a game in Pittsburgh against LA, I would take the Steelers. Outside of that, man, those defenses were really good in the AFC playoffs this year. And that's a playoff picture that didn't include Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, that didn't include Patrick Mahomes. And when we speak about defenses, the defense that Steve Spagnuolo almost always puts out on the field when it comes to January football. McCarthy alone doesn't raise the bar for that team beyond the first round of the playoffs. And it's hard to raise a bar all that much when you have stagnation at the most important position on the field, which is quarterback. So if you bring back Aaron Rodgers, I'd say that's probably your second best bet if your plan is go for it in 2026. But I'm not sure it does enough unless you do a heck of a lot around him. I'm not sure bringing Rodgers back and inserting Mike McCarthy does enough to elevate this team to where it wants to be, which is putting a 7th Super Bowl trophy in that trophy case over on the South side. Now, the other side of this, where you could look at it, is you want the team to reset, to take a step back in order to take a step forward. If that's what you want, then of course you're not going to want Aaron Rodgers, because he is good enough, even at 42 years old, to make the playoffs. Maybe even get a win in the playoffs. But one thing he certainly won't do, if Aaron Rodgers signs on that dotted line, one thing that will not happen in 2026 is the Steelers will not get a good spot in the draft. You saw it this year. He came in at 41 years old, and he led them to the 21st spot in the NFL draft because he is a guy who's going to try to win. So if you want the Steelers to try to win outside of Malik Willis, I don't know if you have a better option than Aaron Rodgers. But if you want them to try to take a step back and recharge and reload and maybe be able to put themselves in a position to draft their quarterback of the future in 2026, Rodgers is probably your biggest nightmare. So the question becomes, what does Aaron Rodgers want to do? Only time will tell, and only a few people will know ahead of time. And it certainly won't be anybody with a microphone in their face. It's going to be a bunch of people that don't like to talk in public, because that's Aaron Rodgers' inner circle. But hey, Mike McCarthy, day one, he's already added back some more uncertainty to the quarterback position, because we all thought when Mike Tomlin left that, hey, Aaron Rodgers probably done. Instead, we sit here again at the end of January and wonder, man, how long is it going to take before Aaron Rodgers makes his decision? And that's a reality for the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know in the comment section, would you want to see Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old spearhead a Mike McCarthy offense in 2026? I'm intrigued to see the replies, but let me know in the comment section below. That's it for this video, though. Thank you so much for tuning into this one. We'll see you guys next time.